Good morning. I hope you're well. It was such a nice day yesterday, wasn't it? I spent a lot of it outside. I hope today's the same. A few times over the last couple of weeks, I've been asked if I posted these messages on YouTube. I didn't. But Zach helped me get an account yesterday. Funny thing is, there's about 100 daily doses of hope, which actually is probably a really good thing because hope is always a good thing. So then we tried Pastor Sue, but apparently there are Pastor Sue's all around the world, even in Africa. So finally, we hit on a royal moment. Messages of hope and encouragement. So if anyone should ask, just tell them they can go to YouTube and look up a royal moment. The sermon from Sunday's there. Yesterday's message, today's will go up as well. You know, in these past about 3 weeks or so, we've seen a lot of responses to this coronavirus. We see people walking outside more than ever before. Living room, exercise routines, cooking projects, home office setups. In fact, Mick has taken over the dining room along with Zach. We've seen hearts in windows and residents banging pots and pans in appreciation of frontline health workers. People making and donating masks. There have been celebrities on TV giving concerts from their homes, parents becoming homeschoolers. And we've seen a lot of people who look like they are doing just fine, like they're pretty much thriving in this new bizarre way of life. And if this is an accurate depiction of your day-to-days these past weeks, that is awesome. Good for you. I too have been discovering beautiful moments of watching movies together, of punching down homemade dough, long walks and talks, especially with God, and laughing around the table, even singing and dancing. But if I'm brutally honest, I've also had days when I've been worried and scared, even a little down. Today, Mick and I got word that one of our dear friends lost her brother last night to the virus. I truly think most of us have given this new way of life in isolation its best possible start. But nearly 3 weeks in, after talking with a lot of folks, the consensus is they are wondering how long many of them can keep this up. How many more people will be infected? How long before we can get back to any sort of normal? And I've started seeing the cracks begin to show in staying positive and productive. Some people are frantically searching for lessons in all of this, some trying to find reasons for the virus, some looking for the silver linings. And often as believers in and followers of Christ, we feel the pressure to always remain positive because somehow if we equate anxiety with mistrust or lack of faith in God. Don't. Please don't do that. That's just not true. And here's why. On the night of his arrest, in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus leaves his disciples and goes off alone to pray. Jesus isn't looking forward to what awaits him. He was horribly aware of what was to come. He had seen other men tortured and crucified, and he shuddered with the horror at what lay ahead. And it's here Jesus' humanity is so very visible. He lets his feelings show as he begins to beg and ask and plead with God to take the cup away from him. In other words, to please not let this happen. He wants to know, isn't there another way? This was the crucial moment. In all honesty, all he had to do was walk out of the garden and take the road up the hill over the Mount of Olives and walk into that desert to the east. He could hide there, quietly make his way north to Galilee where he would be relatively safe. See, in that moment, he was terrified of the future. And so he does what he always did when he needed peace and clarity. He prayed. Now, we don't know how long he was there. But at some point, in the final moments in the garden, the Bible tells us he was suddenly strong and resolute. See, he had asked God to save him from torture and death. That didn't come. Instead, God sent an angel to strengthen him, giving him courage to face what was coming and the ability to keep on going and see it through to the end. Jesus wasn't exempt from a crisis of the absolute worst kind. And I don't know about you, but as sad as that is, it kind of gives me hope and encouragement that I can get through this time of crisis, and so can you. Because Jesus' example helps us understand that in our time of desperation, when we're really not okay, God knows. And although we can't escape this moment, just like he did for Jesus, God will answer us with courage and renewed strength to face what we're going through so we're able to keep on going. And that keeps me hopeful. See, I want you to know it's okay to admit that you're struggling, whether it's because of the virus or other life issues. I mean, who isn't in one way or another? It's okay to admit you're afraid, and it's okay to say you are not okay. There's a song called Maybe It's Okay, and in the song, listen to these verses. Maybe it's okay if I'm not okay, because the one who holds the world is holding on to me. Maybe it's all right if I'm not all right, because the one who holds the stars is holding my whole life. Truth is, we're all a little out of whack these days, trying to find the normal in something that is so abnormal. Look, I am cooking more than I ever did before, and everybody knows that that is absolutely not normal. God forbid the day the takeout restaurants close. But in all seriousness, don't beat yourself up. Rather, think about Psalm 105. In verse 4, it reminds us to look to the Lord and his strength. Seek his face always. No, my friends, you're not alone. Jesus went through much worse and found the strength he needed to make it to the finish line. And I promise you will too. But in the meantime, let's try and be patient with ourselves as well as with others. Allow yourself to feel all the emotions you are feeling, and then ask God to help you with them and to give you whatever you need to make it to the finish line. We are absolutely living in a very challenging and scary time, and we don't know how long it's going to go on. So at least today, try and take a break from whatever you've been doing and just enjoy this day we've been given. Find some time to maybe go outside and get some fresh air. Try and see the beauty that is still all around us and let your soul take a rest. You know, one day we will see how this has shaped us, and if it taught us anything, one day we will be okay. But it doesn't have to be today, and that's okay. So please, stay safe, stay home, stay hydrated, stay hopeful, wash your hands. Find the blessing because it's still out there. It's always out there. And know, I'm praying for you. So I'll see you all tomorrow. And until then, God bless you. Peace.